morning, friends. I want to take just a quick digression from what we're talking about in terms of the holy and sacred and talk to you just a real quick moment about something that I talked to you about a couple of weeks ago in church, and that is that the church is that we as God's people, we are on mission. And as we're on mission for that, I don't mean that we go on mission trips, although that's a great thing to do. But what I mean is that we are now employed in the family business. We are bringing the kingdom. We're making the invisible visible. And so when we do that, I encourage you to be able to pray this every day. And I've been doing this. I've been praying every day on this. Lord, would you use me today? And honestly, I was kind of out of the habit of that because this is kind of one of the things that I do for a living as I work with God's people and I work with God. But I didn't realize how kind of I had stopped looking for divine appointments. I had stopped asking the Lord to use me. And so I told you, I think that you need to pray and ask God that you would, that he would use you today. And then secondly, that you would be on the lookout, for different things. And if, as you are looking around and you notice different needs and different things like that, that as you notice different needs, that you actually jump in and you meet those needs. You don't stay back on the sidelines. If you do, then you typically will bail. And all of us are familiar with this thing, but that we actually once we get going and we're starting to look for opportunities that God is at work in, when we do that, what ends up happening is our whole perspective starts to change. We start to look for different kinds of things in life rather than the things that we normally would do. And then when we see those things, then we jump in and we actually just are now the glove on the Lord's hand. Remember, I've been talking about that we're the glove on the Lord's hand. So a couple of weeks ago, I was trying to do this. I had asked the Lord, would you please use me? And then I went to see someone that was in the hospital and that was in the ICU ward. And I couldn't see them because the whole situation didn't work out. The person was asleep. There was with the COVID regulations and different things like that. But they said, "Oh, I can see him from outside." And I was like, well, from outside, I was thinking outside the room, but they were actually saying outside, like I was standing in the bushes looking in the outside window and they were asleep. So I didn't get to see anything. I'm like, well, I guess, Lord, this isn't you getting to use me. But I'm walking around the parking lot back to my car. And lo and behold, I hear somebody call out, Bob. And I look around and it's a woman, from our church. And she was there getting some blood work done, and she was in a place that she really needed somebody to be there, and I was there. I was actually, and it was a divine appointment. It was totally a God thing. And I want to say to you that these kind of things, and I got a chance to pray with her and hug her and love on her, and when we are placing ourselves at the disposal of our master, of the maker of the universe, when we do that and we simply ask, and then we start looking, God will, and when we notice needs, we jump in. If you take those three things seriously, God will use you to change the world. God will use you to change other people's lives. God will use you in powerful ways, and it just brings joy to your heart. It's like, wow, I'm actually useful to the master and this whole thing. And this was a delight. This actually just brought tears to my eyes and joy to my heart because I was able to be a glove on the Lord's hand. A glove on the Lord's hand. That's you and that's me. So ask the Lord. Ask every day. Write it down. Ask the Lord, would you use me today? Firstly. Secondly, keep your eyes open for opportunities and needs all throughout the day. Then when you see a need, jump in. Those three things. Ask, look around, jump in. Ask, look around for needs, jump in when you see a need. If you do this, God will make your life a giant adventure. He will make it a giant adventure. And honestly, you signed up for this. You did. So join me with this. Amen. I love you. Thanks so much for joining me. And God bless you.